Greetings and welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at the 2007 fantasy drama film The Waterhorse, Legend of the Deep, directed by J. Russell and starring Emily Watson, Ben Chaplin and Alex Etel. Let's begin. In present-day Scotland, a couple of American tourists meet an old man who, upon request after seeing the surgeon's photo, tells them about the Loch Ness Monster and why the photo is a fake. In 1942, World War II, a boy named Angus McMorrow lives in the manor house of Lord Killen on Loch Ness with his mother Anne McMorrow and his sister Kirsty. Lewis Mowbray comes to work as a handyman there. Angus' father Charles, the former handyman, is a sailor in the Royal Navy, missing since his ship was sunk in the war a year ago. Angus is unable to accept that he won't return. One day, while collecting seashells, Angus discovers a large, mysterious egg in the sand and an unknown creature hatches, which he calls Crusoe, after Robinson Crusoe. He decides to keep the creature a secret, eventually telling his sister and Lewis. Lewis explains that it is a genderless waterhorse that lays one egg, then dies before it hatches. Royal Air Force troops arrive at the house, commanded by Captain Thomas Hamilton, a friend of Lord Killen. An artillery battery is set up near the lake to defend against the German U-boats, while the troops set up on the grounds. Meanwhile, Lewis decides Crusoe is so big that they have to free it in the loch. Captain Hamilton proclaims Lewis to be a bad influence, and Angus' mother allows him to teach Angus some discipline. After a few days of training, he escapes, returning to the lake, and a full-grown Crusoe who gets Angus to ride on his back. After some time, it begins to dive. Angus protests diving, later enjoys himself, and finally overcomes his phobia. The next day, Captain Hamilton takes the McMorrow family to a hill overlooking Loch Ness. Crusoe is almost hit by an exploding shell during a firing demonstration. Angus interrupts to save Crusoe from injury or death, enraging Hamilton and irritating his mother, who is unfamiliar with water horses and won't believe him. He is punished, having to be in his room at 6 every night for a month. Two fishermen who had seen Crusoe try to take a photo of the creature for fame and fortune. When they can't photograph the real thing due to the bombardment, they create an imitation. The result is the real-life faked photo of the Loch Ness Monster known as the surgeon's photo. It interests a few soldiers who go out to hunt it. Sneaking out of his room with his sister's help, Angus visits the lake, calling for Crusoe. Crusoe rises, still in shock and fear from the earlier bombardment, nearly bites off Angus's hand before sinking back into the loch. Hamilton's dog Churchill, having smelt Crusoe from the shore, alerts the soldiers of its presence before being eaten by Crusoe. Crusoe then surprises the soldiers, capsizing their boat, but not before one of them sends out an SOS to Hamilton, who thinks the Germans are attacking. At the loch, Angus called out to Crusoe, who is attacking his trunk. In his attempt to calm Crusoe, Angus wades into the lake, slips and sinks. Crusoe rescues Angus. When his mother arrives, she finally believes him when she sees Crusoe, though at first she accuses Lewis of filling Angus's head with nonsense. The nearby artillery battery soon opens fire upon Crusoe, mistaking it for a German U-boat. Angus, Hamilton, Anne and Lewis lead Crusoe to safety at the net, who escapes into the sea. At sunrise, Angus finally accepts his father has passed before they watch Crusoe go. It is implied that Anne is also ready to move on, having fallen in love with Lewis. Over the years, several people claim spotting it, but Angus never sees Crusoe again, while others say that it returns, seeking Angus. The tourists thank the old storyteller and ask for his name, which he reveals to be Angus McMorrow. Outside the pub, a mother calls out to her son William, who is just walking down the beach. He spots a large rock, which has an iridescent blue shell, just like Crusoe's, hinting that Crusoe has left a descendant behind to become the next Waterhorse. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know which movie you'd like to see me do next, and what you thought about this movie. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and goodbye.